Right, okay, hello everybody. We've got a few of you on the line today, which is brilliant to see so many of you here today. So I'm going to start off with you, Polly, because I noticed that you tried to connect last week and then disconnected, and I'm not sure if you lost connection, so I imagine you've got questions that you've had for a little while. So I'm going to jump to you now, Polly, if I can. Polly, can you hear me? Polly, are you there?
Hello, can you?
I can
Yes,
hear
I'm
you
here.
now. Yeah, how are you?
That's good. Fine, thank you. Yes, I did lose connection last week. I've got a few questions this week, but I do find it really helpful just listening as well, actually.
Yes, yeah. Okay, fantastic. So anyway, fire away.
Okay, so last week we found some keywords on one of my campaigns which we decided actually wasn't going to get us any sales, and we would just be paying for people to find things out.
Right.
And you recommended that we turn it into you recommended that I turn it into a blog post. So since last week, I've created my first blog.
Excellent.
Yeah, thanks. I wondered if I might be making this more complicated than it needs to be. Using AdWords and keywords within AdWords to promote the blog, or just letting the blog do its thing with SEO?
Yeah, you would just use, you wouldn't use AdWords for a blog. No, I would,
no.
Yeah, so no, you'd
Okay.
just use SEO and share it using
Cool.
social media.
Cool, perfect, that's what I'm doing. I just thought I'd double check that I wasn't missing anything.
Actually, I need to explain to you quickly that some of you may know that I've now got satellite broadband here in the house, and it does mean that there will be a slight delay between between us now, unfortunately, because while the internet connection here is really fast, there's definitely going to be a slight delay. So sometimes you'll find I'm accidentally speaking at the same time as you. That's because, obviously there's a delay and we're bouncing between each other. So anyway, carry on, fire away with your questions, Polly.
I think that was actually the main question for today. I may well think of some others as we go, but yeah.
Yes, okay. I notice you've got an audit booked in. So both you and Martin have both booked in audits, so I'm planning on doing those. I've scheduled some time in tomorrow morning to do those, so you'll be getting that from me shortly, by the end of tomorrow. So I should imagine that will probably then result in more questions for you to ask the following coaching call as well then.
Yeah, exactly.
Yep, okay, all right then. Well, I'll pop you back on mute for now then, Polly. Okay, so I will come to you next, Martin. For some reason it keeps muting and then unmuting. Martin, can you hear me? Let me just see if there's any questions. Type in the question box. Martin, are you there? Have you got a headset connected? If not, if you just type in the question box. I'm not quite sure what's happening. Maybe Martin's lost connection, but it's not showing on my screen. Right, okay, so I will pop Martin back on mute for now. Martin, type something in the question box, and then I will come to you shortly. Okay, so I've just got a notification from Mark as well to say, sorry, can't get anything from this headset again. No problem, Mark. Well, just try and grab one when you can. I mean, I've bought them before in the past from Amazon, a couple of pounds. They're not hugely expensive. Okay, so but Martin's now got his hand raised. Martin, I'm going to try again. Martin, can you hear me? Martin, are you there?
Hello, Claire?
Hello. Yeah, I can hear you now.
You can hear me now, thank goodness for that.
Yeah, it is a bit of a funny shaky sounding connection. Yes, I can hear you. Yeah, so fire away, Martin. Have you got questions for now?
Yeah, I have indeed, Claire. Thank you very much. Yeah, our campaign is quite varied, as in search criteria and also areas that we go into. Unlike a lot of people who are very specific, and I've only got a few, or limited sort of products that they do. We've got very varied products that we do,
Yeah.
and a lot of areas, i.e. the whole southwest of England, excluding Cornwall. When you when originally set up the first campaign, because obviously I had a campaign running before, which is the oak tree one, which you've got on the left-hand side there.
Yeah.
Below that is the timber windows, all areas, the one I'd set up. You'd sort of said that in the oak tree one there was two varied keywords. The keywords were only broad because obviously when they were first set up there wasn't modified broad exact.
Exactly,
and,
yes.
all the other phrase types. So what I've done now is I've gone through all those and I've changed them all with a keyword to relate to them. I haven't changed the ads on them yet, but I just wanted to get the the power back in it a little bit if I could.
Right,
the quality score went up slightly.
Excellent.
You can see 5 and 6s, but when I've done the one on the campaign for the Windows All Areas, I think I called it, on the other campaign. That one is very powerful. It's like 8s, so
Excellent.
that is great.
Yes.
But I'm not quite sure whether I'm doing the right thing here, because I put Timber Windows open, Timber Windows and over, as you can see, all the way down through there, and I've done the ad the same as the...
That's it, yep, that's perfect.
That's key phrases and whatever, keyword, ad, and everything else. So I'm pretty sure I got it right, but the only thing that concerns me now is, because I can master the AdWords editor, I think, by stopping and starting your video, which is always very helpful. So I don't need any real help with that. But what I want to make sure I'm doing is continuing on from here, that I am doing it in the right format. I understand from the editors, I get the keywords. I mean, at the moment, I've got, I search for the keyword, search for the phrase timber windows, and I see the positive and negative keywords from that.
Right, yeah.
Do I need to do the same for all search phrases? So if I say it was wooden windows, wooden doors, and do that, so I'm doing the negative and positive on all search phrases, or what do we?
The negatives, you can actually go to your campaign and add negatives as a list that you apply to all campaigns. Do you want me to remind you how to do that?
I'm all right with that, Claire.
Yeah,
no,
okay.
No, I'm all right with that. I've done all that. What I'm concerned about is, at the moment. Say I wanted to do, because when I look back on your tutorial, it shows that you copy all the positive keywords.
Yeah.
And then you put them into the AdWords editor, and then you build your own keyword group and new ad groups, if you like, to that keyword. The problem I've got at the moment is I've got obviously prefixed, well not prefixed, after postfix, if you like, afterwards, is the / the town it's in.
Yes.
That's all the ads which we were recommended to do by yourself.
Yeah.
But how do I build from here? Do I copy what I've got back into the editor from the campaign I've already got, or do I take the keywords and put them into a new campaign? Do you know what I'm saying? So I copy what I've already got.
Yeah.
And go back, or do I? And I'm a bit confused because I'm desperate to get on now, to be honest with you, and I'm prepared to invest the time. But I know these early stages are so crucial to get the building blocks correctly.
Okay, so what I would suggest that you do now is take all the keywords that you want. So I'm in AdWords editor at the moment because I had a feeling that we might have some questions today about it. So I would grab all the keywords that you want. So you would just copy and paste whichever keywords that you're going to want, and then use the spreadsheet, which is in the, which is the AdWords editor uploader, which, let me see if I can find that one.
Yep.
Okay, so, and have you found that one? If you come across the upload spreadsheet?
Yeah, they either that you download or you supplied a sheet, didn't you?
That's it. Yeah, it's a spreadsheet
on the Red Hot Web Leads. Is it the same thing?
It is. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let me just see if I can find. Is it typical? Is that the minute you try and find something? Right, that's one. That will do. Okay, so have you seen the tutorial video that explains you paste the keywords in here?
I have. Yeah, I kind of like do it stage by stage and turn it on, turn it off, because the first 3 things you tell me to do I remember, and then I got to the 5th one, I've forgotten the first 2 or 3, and I'm sure everybody's the same here who we're talking to today. So I prefer to have 2 screens going.
Yeah.
and then do it stage by stage what you've done and slow it all down a little bit, maybe some a little bit slower, I don't know, but that's what I prefer to do it. I don't take all of that in, that information, vast information you give. I've got to break down into separate groups and then slowly do each bit part by part,
Yeah.
which is a bit slow, but you learn more, I think, by doing
Yeah.
so.
Yeah. Okay, so well, just to remind you of what you're doing here and to relate it back to what you've currently got, is if you copy and paste some keywords from your old campaign, then you would probably want to go into a new spreadsheet, paste the keywords in. Oops, where did they go? That's why I struggle to Control and C. Doesn't often work in AdWords Editor, as I point out to you in the video. It's quite often a good idea to actually use edit copy. Right, so you grab all the keywords that you're going to want, which actually, admittedly, I probably would sort it by broad, modified, etc. Okay.
Because I've only got one keyword essentially at the moment on the various areas, haven't I?
Yeah,
so
okay.
You said one keyword per ad group.
That's it, yeah. So it sounds like yours is already done correctly then. I'm struggling to see, what is it that you actually need me to advise here? Because I'm not feeling I'm advising you the right answer.
No. Basically, what I want to do is I want to build the next sort of keyword at the moment. So at the moment I've got, let's say, out of all those keywords I've only using Timber Windows, but I'm using it in all areas because you said one keyword per ad group. That's the rule. So that's what I've done, and I've built that, and you said that's quite correct what I've done. How do I move on from here? What would you suggest is my next stage on to build my, so like you see in there, Timber Windows Bristol, Timber Windows Bath, Timber Windows, it's all Timber Windows, but what is the next keyword I need to use? I know the keywords, but how do I build that into the same format again?
Right, okay, so, well, from here, what would I do next, basically? Timber Windows, all area, let me just check where you've got it running. Right,
because it's easy to copy the different ads into names, but what I want to do now is say do a new keyword and call it a new campaign, like wooden windows, all areas, or
yes, okay.
So is that the right way to do it, or
it would be? Yes, okay. So you
could take me a vast amount of time to do individually, wouldn't it? So how do I do that quite quickly?
You do that using the upload. So this is what you would use the upload spreadsheet for. So you would, in here, you would put wooden windows, bath, etc. Then you would wooden windows.
But would I have to key all those? Why can't I take what's already there and just change the word wooden? Do you know what I mean? Rather than, because I've got I've always got to type in all those areas again, haven't I?
You certainly could do. So yes, if you've got this saved from last time, what you did last time when you did it the first time, then yes, you could go through and do a control and replace, which is Control and H.
Yeah.
You could replace the word wooden with timber or vice versa, etc. Okay, so you can do that provided you've got a spreadsheet with that information in. If you haven't got a spreadsheet with that information in, then unfortunately it's not possible.
I haven't at the moment. Can you not do it the reverse way round? You can't do it the reverse way, so I'd have to do that again.
You possibly could, but to be honest, we're not talking about a huge amount of time here. There's probably only, I would just, the first time, and then just make sure you save it in the spreadsheet. So no, there's no shortcuts I can advise you here.
So that's fair enough, but how would I, because you're showing, copying all the keywords to that particular word term, aren't you?
Yeah.
And then copying all those keywords into this thing, but that's quite broad because it's not giving towns in there, it's just giving the keyword itself, but not followed by the town. So do I need to do it with all towns in front of it? Let's say, for example, I was doing bifolding sliding doors, some of the product that we make. Do I need to be then putting a bifolding sliding doors, Bristol, bifolding sliding doors, Bath? I mean, the power of it is, they're showing the quality score is 7s and 8s, which is quite good. On some of them in some areas, and that varies a little bit, and I don't quite understand why that is. But, I just want to be able to build it quite quickly, because you were sort of saying, originally, get all those keywords, drop them in, and then do one keyword per ad group.
Yeah.
That's fair enough. But you were sure quite quick ways of doing that. But it seems to be the way I've got to do it. Seems to be quite slow because I've got a lot of areas and a lot of products.
Yeah. Okay. Well, getting the keywords will be the long task. So basically, the reason it looks fast when I do it is because the keyword research has already been done. So you need to spend the time getting the keywords, and then it'll be fast.
Yeah, I understand that. I can understand how to copy and paste it into the editor, but what I want to know is what format I put into, because, like I said, I've got the keyword, but the keyword isn't, it's just the keywords in general. Do you know what I mean? If you went into Google and put Timber Windows, it's different than going into Google and putting Timber Windows Bath, isn't it?
Yeah, I must admit I'm really struggling to grasp what what is it that you I understand you're looking for a faster way, but the only way is to compile a list of all of the keywords that you want, and then the spreadsheet will allow you to upload all of the keywords and create all of the groups. I really, honestly, I'm racking my brains. I can't think of a faster way.
Yeah. So it's really making the first, going back and doing a manual spreadsheet, and then changing that and adjusting that and uploading that with the word.
That's it, yeah.
Bath or Bristol or anything else on it. Will it / them on the ad as well then, or not?
It will, yeah. When you get to this bit.
Yep.
Okay, so when you get to this bit, you can actually then go as far as actually, I mean, this really is now turning into an Excel tutorial, because what you could now do is put equals and then www dot whatever your website name is, and then you would put an ampersand and then, okay, so that represents, that's an Excel way of putting in a space, because obviously this is what I used to be. Originally I used to teach at IT, so I used to start off as an IT teacher, and then you would then say and whatever the keyword is, which in this case would be wooden windows bath, for example. So you could try something like that. Are you
suggesting that every keyword I got, are you suggesting that every keyword I got then has got to have the town name in it, or not, or it can be more general?
Definitely not. No. You can go as far or as not far as you like. So so you don't have to have,
because the because the area is set by the areas, the radius you do, and the areas you set 20 miles around the said town or anything. So why do you then need to put the name in front of it again? Is that just purely for the cost per click?
Right, okay. So it would definitely be a good idea to watch the previous coaching calls, because I've probably addressed this in 2 or 3 of the previous coaching calls as well. Right. So with local businesses, it's really, really important that you have a campaign that's set up UK-wide, because there will be people outside of your district that have commuted to work. For example, people that are in Scotland that are ordering flowers for their parents in Bristol, etc. So that's why you then need to always have the town name in.
I got all that. But I mean, if you've explained it in previous coaching sort of course, I'll look back on some of the other ones and look for those. And I did think that would be a good idea today, actually, when I was looking at the ones you pre-recorded. So I don't want to take up somebody else's valuable time. If you've got any time, I've got a few other questions, but if you've got any time left at the end, then please come back to me.
Yeah. Okay. So have you got another question that I can help with today then?
There's a couple actually, but I mean, obviously, if you've got anybody, I mean, I don't want to be taking people's space and time, as I said before. So, if you need to move on and come back to me, if there's any time left over, that'd be greatly appreciated.
Yep. Okay. No problem. Okay. So I will pop you back on mute for now and then come back to you shortly. Oh, for some reason my attendees box is.
Thanks, Claire.
Yep. No problem, Martin. Okay, so Mark has said he's got a couple of questions sent by email. Mark, don't tend to pick up email regularly, especially when I've had back-to-back coaching calls this morning. So if you wouldn't mind popping your question in here, which is always, it's always best to make sure you get your question answered on the call anyway. Then pop your question on here and I will take a look. So, right, Laura, coming to you next.
Hi, Claire.
Hello, how are you?
Hello. I'm good. How are you?
Yes, very well. Yeah. So how can I help you today?
Okay, I've got a few questions. I think it's actually starting to work for me. It's very exciting.
Ah, fantastic.
So yesterday, I know. So yesterday I played around with it, and I think it's just because I started doing a bit of maintenance, and actually the penny seems to have dropped. So yesterday we had 15 clicks, and we've had 3 bookings. And it cost us £21.53.
Right, okay.
So it's funny. In. So now, which is brilliant. So now what I've tried to do is I've tried to look at the keywords, and I'm trying to get this maintenance right. So my question is kind of similar to the guy before. It's working, what do I do now? How do I make it work better? How do I sort of continue pushing it? So that's kind of the key thing. The second thing is being picky about the kind of calls that have come through. They're for physical fixes on the people's computers, which is fine because I'm doing lots of I'm sticking in the local towns as the key kind of keywords in there. But how can I attract people that need remote access support? Is it more thinking about the keywords and trying to kind of research that?
Yeah, okay, so we've got a number of issues there. I mean, to go back to, I'll address your first point to start with, which is what do you do once you are getting conversions through? So at this point, which is obviously, this is where I spend most of my time with clients' campaigns, is with converting keywords. So what you would do is, if it's a web conversion where they've sent you a form, you would run search query reports and look at the keywords that were causing conversion. So you would find those 3 keywords that had meant they'd actually picked up the phone and called you, or had actually then, which you could probably find out if you're only getting a small volume of data. What I started off doing was monitoring telephone calls regularly, because I could actually then look back and see, right, that visitor had used those keywords. So you can actually do that just by using Clicky, for example, or Google Analytics. So you would then look.
I've just been asking people when they've been calling through, because the trouble is we've got call tracking number, which is fine, so I can see the telephone numbers that are coming through. But because we have a sort of a national telephone number at the top, they may well call that one.
Yeah.
So it's not necessarily catching everybody. So yeah, I'm doing a keyword search from this. So you go details, and then I've been looking at that way.
Yeah. Okay, so what you would do is, if you get conversions, find which was the converting keyword, and then put the bid up for it, basically. Or sometimes, if you run a search query report, you'll find that it was a slightly different keyword than the one you've already got. And that can then lead you to think, right, okay, I need to add that in as a separate ad group.
Okay.
So you would then add that back in as a new ad group. So that's that point.
What I've been doing.
Yeah, brilliant. Okay, so then on to your next point. What was that? Sorry?
Sorry. So I've gone so far to even say that I've got a keyword, an ad group that says computer repairs Harpenden. Then I've got another ad group that says computer repairs in Harpenden. Then I've got another AdWords group, computer repairs near Harpenden. So I've got like 3 different ad groups that are quite similar but different. Is that right?
Yeah, that might be a little bit excessive, because you might end up with some showing low search volume. So do watch out for that.
Yeah.
And you might find that with those, rather than having all 3, you'd be okay just with the modified broad, because computer repairs Harpenden modified broad would have picked up the other ones.
Can you just have a quick look? So if you click on either computer repairs or laptop repairs, you'll see what I mean. Maybe I can change it based on what you've just said.
Yeah, okay, what these...
So you'll see there's loads. Repairs, repairs in, etc.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, that might be a little bit excessive, possibly. Yeah. So yeah, a little bit excessive. I would probably be tempted to remove this one and stick just with computer repairs Harpenden. So yeah, so when you're running the search query reports and you find keywords like that where they've typed the word in, just presume that that'll be covered under the modified broad. You don't need to add that in as a new keyword.
And when you say the modified broad, that's the plus.
That's it. Yes.
Plus repairs. Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
So I need to add those.
Yeah,
okay.
So, and then to address your problem of people that are looking for physical fixes, this is going to be the problem because a lot of them won't use different keywords. You know, they'll still be using the same keywords, whether they want a physical fix or whether they want a remote fix. So that's going to be hard. What you could try doing is wording the ad so it's very clear that the fix is remote. Of course, the trouble is that then the click-through rate will drop because you'll put off the people that aren't interested in a remote fix. What you might be better off doing is on the landing page is explaining to people why it's a good idea that it's remote fix instead and why it saves money, so that you're changing their mind from needing a physical fix, if you see what I mean.
Yeah, it's more that it's we can only fix things remotely if they can connect to the internet. And just by chance, the 3 that we've got through are ones where the computer's knackered.
Right.
We can help do the recovery. So it's almost like, it's great the jobs that we're getting in, but we want to kind of see if we can attract customers where they can connect to the internet and we can fix it.
Mm.
But like you say, they will still be saying computer repair, computer help.
Yeah.
I just wondered if there's something I'm missing.
Yeah, the only thing you could do is reword the ads so that you put people off, so that you're not wasting money on them. That's the only thing you can do, unfortunately. There's no way that you can tell the search intent behind the keywords. You know, it's just physically not possible, especially if they're using the internet to search for those keywords. You kind of presume they're going to have internet access.
Well, yeah, but then they're using their phone or their tablet or something else that is working.
Mm. Yeah, oh bless you. Oh, well, it's great news you've been getting leads anyway.
Yes, absolutely. And also, if you could have a look at, we're doing a parental controls program where we're helping parents understand what sort of things they can do with their computers to make their children safer and secure. It's working on Facebook ads, so I'm testing out. It's really a lead generator to attract people's email addresses.
Okay.
But I've tried to do a couple of ad groups on here, and they've all been rejected. And I don't know if you could help in that way. It's saying something about the URL that I've used, so I think it's obviously something technical that I'm missing.
Ah, right, okay, that's a very simple fix. If I hold my mouse over it, it's saying it's going safeonthenet.tech-angels.co.uk/AdWords, but you've told them the display URL is Parental Control Tips. They're 2 totally different websites. Because you're not allowed to pretend you're sending them to one website and then send them to another. That's very, very easy to fix that.
Right, okay. Okay, and the actual website isn't, I know it sounds a bit odd, I'm not very technical, but it's not www. It's https://safeonthenet, blah, blah, blah. So is that all right?
Absolutely, yes. Yeah, no problem. Yeah.
The physical reason why it shouldn't work, it's just I've screwed up.
Yeah, it's just a slight mistake when you've updated it. You've used you've put the destination URL and the display URL very different to each other.
Perfect. Okay. Brilliant. Okay. I had another quick question. How can you add negative keywords to all of their campaigns? I know it's probably on your Vault area somewhere, but
okay. So it's in keywords.
Campaigns rather than everywhere.
Okay, we'll demo it. So it's keywords, negative keywords.
Yeah.
You go to campaign level, add keyword lists, and then you go to create and manage lists. You create a list, okay, you enter the words, save it, and then you need to remember to apply it, okay, so you then click on it and then go to apply to campaigns, okay, so you then add them all.
Oh, right.
Okay, if you've not applied it, then that's what's happened.
I've applied it individually to each campaign. I thought it was ridiculous. If you've got loads of campaigns, it's just a complete pain. Okay.
Let me just delete that one for you. Okay, so yeah, but that is definitely worth doing, having a shared list, because lots of you will have free jobs, cheap. You'll have lots of you will want to do that. Have a shared list.
Yeah. Last question is if you want to do a bit of housekeeping, because the way I've structured it, obviously, is the foundations of it all, but if you find that actually you want to change things, can you move things into different groups? Can you kind of drag and drop things?
You can indeed. So you would, in AdWords Editor, what you would do is, okay, so I've got 2 campaigns here. If I look at let's say I wanted to drag this ad group into this campaign, I'll literally just click it, drag it, let go of it, and there you go. I dragged it. Dead easy.
Oh,
Okay.
You do it in AdWords editor and...
Yeah, only AdWords editor, yes.
Okay, perfect. And is there, you've got your weekly maintenance process.
Yeah.
Is there a little bit of detail behind each of those elements? Because I think that's perfect for me, but I don't kind of know. So you're saying, number one, run a weekly search query report. Well, that's fine, but what do I actually need to do with that information? I wondered if that was detailed somewhere.
It's not, no. So what you run the weekly search query report for is to look for new keywords that you add back in as new groups or for new negative keywords. So yes, it's, it's those two things. That's what you're looking for.
Okay, all right. Okay, brilliant. I think that's it.
Yep, okay. Right, well, I'll pop you back on mute for now then, Laura.
Thanks, Claire.
Right, okay. Coming to you next, John. Oh, I'm trying to, for some reason, my computer keeps unmuting and then muting people again. John, are you there?
Yes, I am indeed, Claire. How are you?
You're very well, thank you, and you?
Hello?
It's saying
Great, good.
it's giving me a warning that my mic level is a bit high. I'm using a new headset. Do I sound really loud to you, John?
No, you don't sound really loud. You sound fine. I can hear
Right.
you perfectly.
Good. That's all right then.
Great. Well, I must say, excellent. What you've done is just fantastic. I think it's terrific. So I had a couple of questions, really. Just really how to kind of move forward, because there's obviously a lot of I've got a lot of AdWords now on my
Yes.
there, and I thought that maybe I should maybe start with maybe 2 of the campaigns to begin with, so I start sort of learn. Or would you switch everything on? What would your advice be?
Right, okay, so with a large number of campaigns all going live at the same time, it's really difficult to manage, especially for somebody who's fairly new to it. So I absolutely would stay with just 1 or 2, definitely. And the 1 or 2 that are most likely to bring leads. So whichever you think are the leads that you want most, I would say, turn them on.
Right, so I was thinking insomnia and public speaking. I thought
Yeah.
I'd start with those 2.
Okay, so
And so
yes.
to get some practice and learn. That's what you're saying, really, isn't
That's it, yeah.
Get to learn it. And then the other thing is, we've got a price there in the moment, which is default max £1 and a penny.
Yeah.
Where would you start with pricing? Would you leave it at that and see where we go to get to, or
Yes, I
do I need to be a
mean,
bit more scientific, or?
I am never scientific with this at all. I literally just guess and then put it up or down based on that. So, but of course, bearing in mind that my guess is based on a number of years of experience, so I can tell whereabouts it's going to fall. So, £1 would be fine to start with, but you're going to appear on the right-hand side. More than likely, you will need to increase the bids to get in the top 3, but you might still get leads on the right-hand side for now. So it probably is worth just testing it at £1 for now.
Okay, and what was the question? Yeah, no, that's I've forgotten completely what I was going to ask you.
Oh, bless you.
The other thing that has come up, it was right there. So Google has said they've disapproved some adverts. I just got an email from them, and so I thought I'd just talk that through with you. Shall I tell you what the email says? We'll probably be able to tell you.
Yeah, I would have thought. Right, what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, in fact, it might be worth watching this as well, people, because what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to create a filter to find the disapproved ads. So I'm in ads. I'm going to go to filter, create filter. Okay, I'm going to go to approval status, and then I'm going to choose disapproved. Oops. Yeah, so I'm going to make sure the disapproved is the only one that's selected. Okay, then I'm going to try and find all of the ads that are disapproved. Right, the trouble is because the campaigns are paused, it's not showing me which ones are disapproved. Okay, so I've gone back to ads. Can you see how it's still telling me that the filter status is there as approved, as
Right.
as all the disapproved ads?
Right.
Yeah, which campaign was it in, the disapproved ads?
Well, let me just see what, because the email seemed to be quite general actually, saying.
Yes, not very helpful. They're not very helpful.
No,
Google these emails.
I mean, it's sort of, and it could be these 20 different things that you're doing wrong. Your ad text is violating editorial guidelines for spacing through the incorrect use of the following: extra spaces between letters within a word, missing or excessive spaces between words or punctuation, e.g. free shipping, extra or missing spaces around standard punctuation, mathematical symbols, currency, abbreviated units of measurement. That's what it's saying.
Right, okay, so
To do with
somewhere.
spacing.
Yeah, okay, and it doesn't tell us. Right, okay, what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to try setting them all live temporarily, literally just for a couple of minutes while we look at this live. So let me enable them all.
Lovely, thank you.
Okay, and that is the only way that I think I'm going to be able to
Let me
see
just-
the... Right, okay, so it looks like it is just these two that are disapproved. And let me see if I can spot why. Okay. So, therapy for social anxiety, that's it. Okay, so it's because we tried to squeeze it all in the top line very sneakily because there's no space left. Can you see that? So it's complaining because it says therapy for social anxiety. So, so we could, for example, do something like that if you were happy with that, or, you know, basically you would need to go and edit that. Can you see how if I try and fit it all in, it's now saying
Yeah.
-1. It's basically just saying that
Yeah.
there's a bit too much. So basically we need to think of, so in fact if I just leave it at that for now and save it, okay, then you can
Yeah.
go back and change
Yeah.
it. So that was in the social phobia
Right.
one, and let me just edit that one for
Yeah.
you as well, so that it goes away. So that's what the problem was. But anyway, I'm sure that was I'm sure everybody would benefit for knowing how to find the disapproved ads. So, you know, it's really useful for everybody to see.
No, that's fantastic, Claire. And I just missed the step where you switched everything on,
Right,
because I
okay.
had the Google email in front of the screen.
No problem. Okay, so what I did was I went to campaigns, I highlighted them all, which is the tick box at the top,
Right.
okay, and I went to edit and enable. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to go back to edit and pools, and straight away the status of them all has updated to paused. Okay, so it's that button there which controls all of the campaigns.
Right. Okay. And has it changed slightly now? I didn't notice that they all had a £10 budget, but maybe they did. Maybe it was.
No, they all did have a £10 budget, yes.
Right, okay.
Yeah, so you would need to go and change these, and you can actually edit it like this. Okay, so if you see where I clicked there, so you could change that to 5, for example.
Yeah.
So you can actually edit each of these just by clicking it.
Right, okay. And the campaign, that's the amount of money you're going to spend on all the AdWords within that campaign?
That's it. So, in fact, something that it might be worth me demoing to all of you as well, because it's relevant, but you'll definitely benefit from this, John, is what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you how to set up a shared
Great,
budget.
thanks, Claire.
So a shared budget is where you've got a daily budget that you must never exceed. So I have a lot of clients who, for example, they're spending £4,000 a month, and they've got a maximum, they must never exceed that because they've been given a budget. You know, they're a marketing director and they've got a marketing budget they must never exceed. So I find it very difficult to set up daily budgets because sometimes they go under, sometimes they go over. So I set up a shared budget which all of the campaigns will then share. So if I go to the shared library, okay, so that was the bottom left-hand corner, shared library, and you can see there's an option here that says budgets. So I'm going to click on view. Where it says budget here, anywhere where you can see a green button, normally Google, that's what Google is using to mean this is where you need to click to set it up. So click on the budget button. The budget name, I would call it something like shared daily budget, something that makes it obvious. Okay, and I would edit the campaigns that I'm going to add it to. I would add all of the daily campaigns, or all of the campaigns that you need to add to it. Okay, so you can see each one that I'm adding goes greyed out as well to represent the fact that it's been added. Okay, so I will add all of these. Okay, and then you would then set the daily budget of, I don't know, whatever it was. Say you only wanted to spend £10 per day between them all. You would then just click on the Save button. Okay, and now you can see that it's saying shared daily budget applied to 22 campaigns. If you need to edit it at any point, you can. So you can change it to 15 or whatever you wanted to do. You can actually change it at that point. So let me show you how to get back into that as well. So all online campaigns. Let me show you how to get back into the shared budget, because I can imagine many of you would want to know how to do this. So from the main screen, go to just click on Shared Library, and there you go, there's your daily budget. Okay, so does that help, John?
No, that's brilliant, and I can see how you can obviously set up, you can have several of these, so
Yes.
no, that's really, and it's great because you can then go in and change your budget here
Yes.
without needing to go into the rest of it.
Yeah.
That's fantastic, actually. That makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
It does, yeah, yeah.
Control.
I must admit, I use this
Control,
all the time now.
Yeah, no, it's brilliant. Good. Well, that's well, I'm looking forward to it. This is great, and thank you, for your support so far. It's been marvellous.
Yeah, no problem. You're welcome, John. Yeah, I can't wait to have you on future calls saying, you had 3 leads yesterday like Laura. That would be fantastic. Hopefully yours won't be like Laura's and be slightly the wrong thing, but...
Great. Okay.
Yeah.
And so, and obviously, I can come on the calls and ask questions and
Absolutely,
refine
yes.
things and add things.
Yeah.
That's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
So thanks so much, Claire. I
Yeah.
appreciate it. Really
Yeah,
do.
okay. You're
Thanks.
welcome, John. Yeah, okay. I'll put John back on mute. Right, okay. Now, right, so I've got a couple more of you who've got additional questions. Right, so Mark, just read through. Mark, do pop your question in here and I will be able to answer it. Right, Polly, yeah, I knew I'd seen a notification from somebody who said they had an extra question. So Polly says she's got an extra question about Christmas campaign. So let me come to you, Polly. Okay, Polly, you're live.
Hi. Hello, can you hear me?
I can indeed, yeah.
Wonderful. I am sort of doing lots of Christmas things sort of in all our other areas like print advertising and competitions and promotions and that sort of thing. And I wondered if it would be worth just running some temporary Christmas adverts campaigns. I wondered if you'd had any experience of doing them, if they're ever very successful, or if it's just going to be really expensive because everybody does it.
Right, okay, 2 seconds. I'm just going to need to pop you on mute. My son, in his wisdom, has decided to start playing the piano in the background. Right, I'm just going to pop you on mute and then go and ask him to be quiet a minute. 2 seconds. Okay, apologies about that. I just legged it to go down to be quiet. Do you just love live events? So anyway, what was the would you mind just repeating that last bit for me, please, Polly?
Yes, absolutely.
Polly, are you there?
Hello. Oh yes, I am. I think I might have muted myself. Sorry. I wondered if you'd any experience of, and I'm sure you have, if you'd any experience of how successful temporary Christmas campaigns are. I don't know if it would be a good idea to generate some more traffic and leads, or would I just be creating lots of expense unnecessarily.
Right, okay. Well, Christmas campaign, so for what products is it that you would be tempted to push more at Christmas?
Probably our smaller items, sort of the stocking fillers.
Right, okay.
Actually, no, it's actually our full range.
Mm.
So even our main products, people wanting them in time for Christmas and that sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay, definitely. I've run Christmas campaigns a number of times for e-commerce retailers, and normally the type of thing you would do is reword your ads so you've actually got, so it mentions Christmas. So you recognise the fact that people are actually shopping for Christmas. Mention last delivery dates, for example, order now for guaranteed Christmas delivery. And you can actually then set an end date on your campaign, for example, so that that expires on the 20th of December or whatever date it is, so that you then don't accidentally promise Christmas delivery. So yes, it would normally be reword your ad so that it shows people that they will get it for Christmas.
Okay, and can I just, so would I be able to just put Christmas ads in the ad groups that I've got running, or would it be best to create almost Christmas keywords and give them an ad group of their own?
Well, I mean, it's entirely up to you. You could either replicate the campaign and set up so basically you copy and paste the same campaign and pause your old one so that the new one takes over, so that all the ads are worded about Christmas. Or you could just change all of the ads for your existing campaign so that they were all about Christmas. So really it's entirely up to you. If you want an end date to remind yourself not to accidentally advertise past your last delivery date, then you would need a second campaign so that you don't you end the campaign, and so that it doesn't automatically, so that it doesn't cause you any problems. So there's options up to you, really.
Okay, that's great, actually. Thank you.
Yeah.
I think that's my afternoon sorted.
Oh, bless you. No problem. Right, okay, pop you back on mute now then. Okay, so I've just spotted Mark's question was underneath Polly's. Right, okay, so Mark's campaign's up and running. I'm running a couple of campaigns at the moment. It's been running a week, spent £122 with no conversions at the moment. I believe I'm competitive, but I'm concerned to expand on the campaigns any further at this stage. Right, okay, so let's go and just do, basically it would be a good idea to book in a fall audit at this stage, Mark. Now it's been running a while. So what have I got you under? Some people I've got under their company name, some people I've got under their own name, so that's why I was looking through. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to do like a little mini live audit. So let's have a look at Riva Shoes. Okay, let me just move the questions box out of the way. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to run a search query report to see what type of things it is you've been showing for. So let's show, not quite sure how long it's been running, last 14 days. Okay, and then run the search query report by going to details all. Okay, so we've got some really good click-through rates here. So we've got Riva Shoes Stockist, Riva Shoe Fair Italy. Possibly might want to think about taking that one's been phrase matched against, so maybe putting the word Italy in as a negative mark might be a good idea. Riva Melody Shoes, Riva Road Shoes, Sport, Moccasin. So we've got lots and lots of different types of shoes here. So ballerina shoes, ladies shoes, Riva Shoes size 38, Riva Ballerina. Right, let's go look at the landing pages to see what the type of thing is that people are then seeing. Okay, so we've got this one is still bringing in a lot of the traffic, which is a modified broad. It'd be a good idea to pause that one. Now let's go and see where that one's going. Okay, so this page is quite slow to load. I don't know if you're aware of that. Mark. Might be a good idea to look at what's causing it to be slow to load. Because some people, you know, at this stage, it's taking several seconds to load, might actually give up. People are quite impatient. Right, okay. So we've got that one is going to Chi Miara. Is that the right shoes there? Is that the same brand? The Riva shoes. Riva shoes that takes you through to Chi Miara. Let me find my questions box. I want to see if Mark's typed in any extra info. So that's the wrong URL. Right, okay. Now that ad with the modified broad, with the dynamic keyword insertion, you definitely need to go and change that one. So that will be why it's not causing any conversions, definitely. So definitely you need to go and change that one. So I would go in there and change that one urgently, Mark. And then that is actually where most of the budget's going. So that's £39.46. I've just sorted it by cost. Right, so we've got £14.24 has gone on this one, which is going to Riva shoes. So if I right click and open this one, £14.24 on that spend probably isn't quite enough of a test yet. You probably need to leave, once you pause the other one, then leave this running for a bit longer. Okay. Let me just have a look through. Okay, so we've got Riva Melody wedges and Riva ballerina shoes. Now, in that search query report, I saw mention of some other types of shoes apart from those. So you might want to put the word sport and sports in as negatives, Mark, so that it doesn't accidentally load, you know, anything, any type of Riva shoe that you don't sell, for example, the sports, I would put that in as a negative, and that will prevent you accidentally paying for that then. So that will save you money in the future as well. Okay, so these are all linking to the right URL. Okay, so that's obviously the main problem there with Riva shoes. Let me just go back into the old one. Okay, so this one is going to the right URL. Okay, so I'm not quite sure how to pronounce it. Ilse Jacobson. Okay, so we've got Ilse Jacobson raincoats, footwear, clothing, etc. Right, okay, then let's go and have a look at the type of keywords that we've got coming through. Okay, so you've got a lot of people that are just typing in Ilse Jacobson, which is, I'm just wondering, what would happen if I go to Google and actually search for her? Who else is bidding on it? What I'm doing is just to check if somebody is typing in that, what other type of search results they're going to find. Okay, so they are going to find their own site. There's yours. So most people bidding on it are, in fact, resellers like you. So, yeah, there shouldn't be a problem with bidding on that keyword. But it's obviously not resulting in any sales at the moment. It's only had 22 clicks, so it might be a bit soon to tell right now. Blaze, men. Okay, so I would definitely now, at this point, be looking through, because I can't see anything that looks like it's for a man. So if you don't stock mans, then at this point I would be adding men in as a negative and man. Some of these keywords you might want to add in as more specific keywords. So you might want Ilse Jacobson long coats, for example. You might want to send that through to, let me see if you've got a long coat. Yeah, there, okay. So I would want to send that keyword to a more specific landing page now, because obviously they're specifically looking for the long raincoat. So it's a case of adjusting landing pages at this point, adding in negatives. Army boots, you know, you're going to need to be monitoring for negatives like this practically on a near daily basis with a new campaign. Puffer, camouflage, Wellington boots, anything that you don't sell. So I can't see, although I can see there is a second page. Okay, so no, there's no Boots on there. So I would be adding Boots and Wellingtons and Wellies, etc. as negatives. And that should start to see some better results there, Mark. Mark, any other questions about that? No. Okay, he said, not right now, thank you. So, yeah, no problem, Mark. Okay, right, well, shout. And do book in an audit as well if you want to, you know, once you've left it running for a couple more days, you wanted me to take another look. Maybe next week, you know, book in an audit. Right, okay, so who else have we got? Had another question from Martin. How long does it take to show on your keyword bid once you've increased the bid to improve ranking? Well, if you update, how long does it show on your keyword bid? I think you mean how long will it take your bids to affect your positioning in Google. That's what I think you mean. So it would normally take, you know, it would normally be instant. So, for example, I've been going in today editing some of my client campaigns. I look through as part of the weekly report that I've been doing. I look to see anything which is falling below a position of maybe 2.5. I put the bid up slightly so that I keep the position around about 2, for example. So yes, it would normally update straight away. Your bid will affect your ranking straight away. If 2 people have the same bid, do they rotate on first place? Well, it will also depend on quality score. If one's got a higher quality score than the other, then even though they got the same bid, the other person will appear higher. So that would be how it would work. If you have a town like Bradford on Avon, is it best to put Bradford -on -Avon, as this seemed to improve ranking? So I've not tested that, Martin. It'd be really interesting to get your feedback. If you have found that to improve your ranking, then, you know, that'd be a fantastic case study. So if you've got proof that just doing that improves your quality score, for example, then yeah, by all means pop that in our group, because that would really help other people to know that makes a difference. I've not heard of it making a difference specifically, but then I don't think we've got Weston-super-Mare near us in Bristol, but I don't tend to do a lot of bidding on Weston-super-Mare, so not noticed that, so that's really interesting. Right, okay, so we will end it there. And I will upload the recording shortly, and I will see you all next week, and some of you will see on the Facebook webinar later this evening. And yes, talk to you all next week. Bye for now.